everybody, I am Musculite. Thanks for stopping by. This is not in all my own words, and I'll give you the link for it below, but I think a lot of the words are very profound. They make a lot of sense, and hopefully they will help a lot, especially with everything that's going on at the moment. I am seeing so much stuff on Clinton and the election and everything else, and I thought, do you know what, if I was just waking up at this moment, if watching those things was waking me up, which will be to a lot of you out there, then that's so scary. It could put you in fear so easily. So this is really for people who are just starting this journey, who are just starting to wake up. Yeah, let's go through some things about what it means to be waking up at the moment. So a lot of you, it's brilliant. You're waking up, you're finding yourselves in situations, others in situations similar to your own. At the same time that a lot of people are waking up, if they're not handling it right, they can spiritually just shrivel up and die in a corner. They can become increasingly empty and bitter. So remember that saving the world, we can't save the world by going out and fighting. It doesn't work like that. By saving the world, before you can do that, you have to save yourselves. And by saving yourselves, it means looking after yourselves properly, which I'll go through with you in a minute. Remember that there are people around you. They have to be willing to be able to be helped, or to be helped awaken. Okay? There's no point in getting frustrated, getting upset with the rejection and the ridicule that you might face from those not willing or able to expand their hearts and their minds at this time and awaken. You may be awakening, you can see what's going on, but there may still be people around you who can't. Don't waste your time. Don't upset yourself at this time with that. They will do. They'll do it in their own time, just as you have done it in your own time. The surest and the best way to improve mankind and to help you yourself to ascend through to the fifth dimension, to fully awaken, is to improve yourself. This means educate yourself. So become aware and skilled at delivering the awareness that you have to others, only who are interested in doing that. Okay? If somebody is not interested in awakening, if somebody is not at that level, they wouldn't come to my channel. They wouldn't watch me. They wouldn't understand it. It wouldn't get through to them. They would ridicule me. They would go on their merry little way and stay asleep. I'm fine with that. That doesn't bother me. I'm only interested in helping the people that are starting to wake up now. I stopped a long time ago trying desperately to wake up people around me. They do it in their own time. And you will go through this phase where you just think, oh my God, please wake up. Please see what's going on around you. Don't, honestly, I've been there, done it. Don't waste your time. Don't upset yourselves with doing it. So the best way, as I say, for the betterment of mankind, for the universe, for Gaia, is to improve yourself. So build up your potential to serve others. And do it in a good way. Do it in a way that is creative for you. Okay? Actual opportunities to do something are called out by you. So the need of circumstance, you'll be inspired by a good idea. You will have this fantastic thought. You will be guided where you need to go by your circumstances. Your guides and angels are doing this. Your higher self is doing this, and you will be in the right place at the right time to be able to help somebody else. You will be guided to do that. So improving yourself is becoming more mentally and emotionally stable, becoming more balanced within yourself. And I always think of it in the way of a seesaw. If you think of a seesaw, think of yourself sitting in the middle of that seesaw at the 0 point. That is your balance point. That means you've got your yin and yang balance, you've got your male and your female balanced, important for twin flames, okay? You've got male on one side, female on the other, and you're sat in the middle. When you come across a crisis, when you come across a challenge, you are better able to deal with that challenge or that situation or that other person if you are at that 0 point in the middle. If you are too far over on your male side, you are going to become dominant, you're going to become angry, you could become physically abusive and start hitting out, you become aggressive, and every other male lower chakra feeling that there is, or action that there is. If you're on the other side of things, if you're too female in a crisis, you can scream, shout, do the crying bit, become codependent, very needy, very defensive, very bitter, bitchy, shouting, all of our lower chakra stuff that we used to go down to when we got into a bad situation. So if we're not too male and we're not too female, we're sitting right in the middle at that 0 point, balancing in the middle, sitting in the middle of that seesaw. Okay, that's what balance is, emotionally and mentally as well. That's what you need to aim for, especially with everything that is going on in the world today. When you get into that middle point, you become the observer. You don't get dragged into situations which make you feel bad. You sort of observe it from a standing point. Then you go and take some time out. Then you go and think about it, and you think through your heart and not through your mind. So you don't run things over in your mind thinking, bitch, 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 or she said this and he said that and all the rest of it. You get to a place where you can look at it and observe it, puppy, in a good emotional way. Okay? So that's what I mean by improving yourself. Educate yourself is the next one. Learning about what really, really matters. Not learning about what is going on in the mainstream news. It's usually a diversion. But what is really going on within the world itself. What's going on within yourself as well. Think everything through your heart and not through your head. Everything that goes through your heart, you think, how does it make me feel? Is this the most loving thing for me to do at this time? Is this the most loving thing for me to say at this time? And it goes back as well to improving yourself, not only educating yourself, but improving yourself, because you can learn how your words affect others, okay? So by educating yourself, looking within yourself, looking at the world outside yourself, looking at the hidden things that manipulate people that could be stopped if only they knew about it, and the positive principles that, if known and applied, would allow one to progress more intelligently and powerfully, yet compassionately through life. Become skilled in your niche for communication. Find out what it is that you're really good at. Some people are very good at public speaking. Some people can send their messages, their information, what they need to get out through music. Some can do that through art. Others can do that by writing a blog or writing informal conversations with other people. If you can become a walking help centre for other people who meet you at that right time, who just need that bit of inspiration, or they need help figuring out something that they can benefit from you and what you have learned, and that's a really good thing. Once you have learned something, once you have integrated it within yourself, you are then in that position to be able to share that wisdom to help somebody else out, providing they want that help, providing they're ready for that help. Whatever you learn about, make sure you're pondering it. Make sure you're not just memorizing it word for word. Make sure that you are integrating it into yourself. Look for what it explains. Look for the things that it fails to explain and ask yourself why it's failing to explain that to you. And over time, you'll get more talented at being able to tell truth from deception, which is a really important skill. This is the road to higher knowledge. There is a lot of traps. There are a lot of booby traps. There are a lot of lies along the way. So one of your skills is to learn between the truth and between deception. The good guys will always be truthful. The bad guys will always pretend to be truthful to deceive you. So you have to be able to tell the difference. Networking. Always try and get with other people that are on the same wavelength as you, that understand you. Okay, people that don't serve you, don't waste your time with them. Find out, seek out people that you can talk to, people that not only you can help, but they can help you as well. I still have my oh shit moments, as you know, always. But when that happens, I've now got to a position where if I need help and support, I will go and find that help and support from somebody who has already been through it, from somebody who is higher up the spiritual path than I am, who can help me understand what I'm going through at that point. And at that point, I can let the fear go, I can let the doubt go, the worry go, I can integrate it within myself, I can understand it, I can become balanced again on that seesaw, and then I can come and I have that wisdom to be able to share with you for somebody, because everybody, we have to be understanding that people are on different levels, spiritual levels. I read a couple of comments on not my channel, but on somebody else's channel this morning from so-called spiritual people who were saying, oh my God, why are they still watching this channel? Have they not listened to Steve Quayle and other people like that? The people that are listening to that particular channel are at a certain spiritual level, and they haven't advanced yet onto the likes of David Wilcock and Steve Quayle and people like that that are higher up than that. So for them, it's a good level. The people that were nastily commenting were at a much higher level, and they were looking down on. You have to remember, we're on different levels. Everybody's on a different level. Somebody could have woken up 20 years ago. Somebody could have woke up today, yesterday. And we have to have that compassion, that love, and that understanding for that other person as well. So going back to networking, get together with as many people as you can, form groups, talk about things, put up a website, do a blog, get on YouTube, do whatever you feel you want to do in order to help others awaken. Because that, once you're awakening, it's then your job as a light worker to help others awaken. So whether it's on the internet or whether it's in real life, probably most likely both, pursue connecting with others. Seek them out, put yourself out there in whichever way, to fish for those that would make good teammates, who are on your side, who are on your level. Subtle synchronicity guides these connections and they come to you. I have found that doing my YouTube personally, so many people have come to me synchronistically that needed to see my videos just at the right time, just at the right divine timing in their life, which helped them at that moment. Nothing to do with me, it was all done in divine timing. They were guided to a video of mine, and then they came through, and it's synchronicity. You are always introduced or put in the right place at the right time to meet that person that you need to do to get that spiritual message that you need at that time. So as long as you take care of the mechanics, meaning getting up and making an effort to do something, if you just sat on your settee in your house doing nothing, then nothing is going to happen. Reality will take care of the rest. Your spirit guides and your higher self will take care of the rest. Your spiritual family. It's about bringing in your spiritual family to you. They are scattered about all over the world. They're not just down the road from you. They are worldwide. It's just a matter of timing and preparation for these to gather and bring them to you, to bring your monad group through to you. Once you start to awaken, you will start to hone your intuition. You will start to learn your clairvoyant abilities. You will realize and start to integrate the fact that you have a sixth sense, that your pineal gland is opening, and you'll be able to start using it. Then you will be able to distinguish the difference between a positive person and a negative person. Somebody who is pretending to be your friend or pretending to be positive. And the only 100% way to use that is to go off your intuition, to put everything through your heart. Don't try and think about it too logically, because it doesn't work that way. It's about using the abilities as you awaken and as you are awakening, and develop them. Meditation is a really good way of doing that. I've mentioned other things in other videos about drinking water, eating properly, and getting rid of fear and doubt, because obviously at the beginning of awakening, some of these things, when you start to develop them, it's quite scary if you've never had them before, but you will develop them. They will get better in time, and you will begin to understand them as time goes on. So use your clairvoyant abilities to feel out and distinguish somebody who is positive to somebody who is negative. There is only sort of two types of people that you need to watch out for. The first one is the one that drains your energy, the helpless one, the codependent one, the one that can't cope without you, the one who comes to you and needs you to give them lots of advice, be their teacher, their rescuer, their advisor, comes off as emotionally needy and desperate. But no matter how much you tell them, no matter how much you advise them, no matter how much you try and help them, they're never actually listening to you, and they're not improving ever. They're not taking in what you're saying. They're just draining your energy, and you will walk away from them and you will feel maybe upset, you will feel tired, you will feel drained completely. These are the differences there. There is a difference there between a type of person like that and from somebody who is very sincere and coming to you for help and advice, not in a desperate way. Okay, they will benefit from the interaction that they have with you because they are listening. They will take some or more or all of your advice, and they benefit from the interaction that they've had with you. They don't keep sucking on you for more and more and more. Okay, so they learn a little bit of wisdom. They learn self-empowerment. You give them, what you're doing is actually just giving them the tools to help them to see that all the answers are within them, and with the right tools they can move forward in an empowered way. That is your job, is to empower other people. So as I said, if they're draining you and they just keep coming back and coming back for more and more, and they're not listening, and you realize that they're not improving in any way, that's the time you move away from them. They are not serving them. You are not serving them either, and it's no good wasting your energy. Your energy is actually being drained from them. It's almost like they don't care about the advice that you give them, only that their only purpose is to try and drag you down and make you as tired as them. They're like energy leeches, they're like vampires. I've done videos on this as well before. Give them the chance to learn from your advice, but if they constantly refuse to help themselves, then you have to walk away from them. Remember that you are helping people and serving people who willingly need help. Okay. The other one is the switcher. What we would call the switcher. This person would come to you strongly mirroring many of your beliefs, okay, but seems pressured or hurried to become friends with you very quickly, to have a relationship very quickly with you, to have all your undivided attention all the time. Once they've got that, they quickly switch over to a pile of disinformation. They try to lead you down another line of beliefs that make you feel uncomfortable, which you actually personally don't believe in. They try to make you doubt your own beliefs and your own previously gained knowledge and wisdom. Not through solid reason, but through almost manipulation tactics. Often they will enter your life with a bunch of really weird synchronicities, like they're just meant to be there. They will mention specific things that maybe you've just been talking about and no one else knows about, or something that you've just been researching, and then no one else knows you've been researching it, and then they'll suddenly turn up into your life. These are very, very negative people, but they act in a kind, nice way to get your attention. Be very careful. These are all almost the dark side of people trying to come in and make you switch your beliefs and bring you down spiritually. Although they will act like your best friend, they will act like everything. Okay. Or they could even talk about personal history or childhood details with you that are very, very close to matching your own, and you think, oh, I found a soulmate, I found a thing. Just be careful and watch very carefully, because if they're pushing and pressuring you too much, that could be a sign of that. It's a red flag is if you start to show resistance. They switch from being sweet and nice and lightness to being bitchy, and that attitude of, you're not listening to me, you're not coming around to my way of beliefs, you are not going down the road I want you to go down. Everybody has a different spiritual belief, and we all end up on the same road. We just all take slightly different directions to get there, but everything leads to the same road, and we will get there in the end. But if somebody is deliberately trying to push you into their beliefs, it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's not quite what you agree with them, and they're doing it in a very pushy way, and you see that switch of they're nice one minute and then they turn bad the next minute, you need to step back from that, and you need to look very. That gets your clairvoyant abilities going, that gets your intuition going, and that's what you really need to look at. It's if they do a 180-degree switch, as soon as you refuse to bend to their will, it reveals what they're really after, and it's to spiritually drag you down. And the universe brings these sort of people to you to test you. The universe does that. The dark side comes in. I've said in videos before, as you rise up spiritually, or you go up another level as you're learning, something will always come in to try and knock you down, and you have to learn to be able to recognize that and go, no, and move above it. And using your abilities, you can quickly do that and move through. Both scenarios really are pretty obvious when you encounter them. It's like there's a shallowness to them. They're wearing a mask. And that nastiness from them will come out from time to time, and it's the nasty parts that will stand out to you, that will really shock you. It doesn't matter whether they are individually sold or not, as a programmed person, as a manipulated soul person, because the darkness is manipulating their soul in order to come and do that, it's bad news for you. Now remember, there is a complete difference and a world away from a really nice person who just happens to be having a bad day and unintentionally goes bleh and snaps at you, okay, or just gets, we all get in bad moods, we all shout occasionally, we all snap occasionally, but there's a huge difference between a nice person doing that and a dangerous person who is pretending to be nice all the time, except for the moments when that mask falls off for them, when their disguise slips down. You can sense intuitively there's something wrong somewhere, there's something wrong with them. You can sense what is beneath the surface of that mask. You will see after a length of time that their niceness is fake, that their niceness is not really niceness at all, because they can't keep up that forever, and their true intentions start to come out at some point. So watch out for that. The mistake, I think, is for people to discern who is positive and negative based on whether they do nice acts, whether they do nice things, versus whether they are mean and aggressive. Most of the time, if they're doing something nice, it's because there is something in it for them. It's not genuinely serving somebody else or serving you and doing something nice and not expect. There is an underlying, they want something back from this, they want something in return for that. Con artists can fool beautiful little old ladies into handing over all of their savings, all of their money. They are nice, they are charming, they are wonderful. Therefore, you need to see the bigger picture on things. You need to start looking at the patterns of that person to catch them out in their deceptions of things. The best way to hone your intuition is to see how you feel as you interact with somebody and remember the feeling. And then later, after some time has passed and they've shown their true colours, you can recall the feeling that you had about them and correlate it to whom they ended up being. Everybody who you have ever felt that off feeling with, where you just sort of think something's just not quite right, no matter how nice they are to you, you just think there's something off here. That's your intuition. That's what you need to listen to. Okay? When it's happened with me, they've all eventually ended up visibly revealing their negative intentions, their purposes. Sooner or later, they cannot keep the mask up forever. So if you feel like that with somebody, that something's not quite right, probably you are right, and there is something not quite right with them. But give it time, observe, and see how things go, and wait for that mask to slip down from them. This way you can avoid suspecting the wrong people, okay? So don't go nitpicking for little red flags in the behaviour of somebody who seems, a little bit. So some people are just like that. Otherwise you're going to end up forcing yourself to see things that you'd rather not see. If there's warning signs, it will come to you. Synchronicity, again, your guides and angels will warn you. You just have to avoid rationalising with your mind away these warning signs when they smack you in the head. Don't make excuses for them. Don't write it off as something that it isn't. Okay? Always stay calm, stay neutral, stay in the middle point of that seesaw, and avoid injecting bias into the observations that you're making. This control system that we live in, this matrix that we live in, can make two positive souls distrust each other. So be careful of that. They could make two people that are perfect for each other completely distrust each other. That's part of the darkness there. So rather than they have artificially induced paranoia within them. It becomes an irrational impulse of irritability, of being oversensitive to each other, and this causes them to move apart from each other, but actually they're perfect together. So watch out for this. The difference between being observational and being calm and paranoia is a huge distance away from each other. It's very sharp but serene. It's free from irrational compulsions, the first one. So the second one, the paranoia, it's almost like being drunk and intoxication. It comes up very, very quickly. It engulfs you in that paranoid feeling. When you feel like that, that's paranoia. That's not good for you. That's not the way to look at another person. You have to stand back and do it from a neutral position and observe. I had, I'm sure she won't, I'm not going to mention her name, but I had a client come to me a few months ago who was totally in love with somebody, and he was taking her for every single penny she had. But because she loved him so much, she couldn't see it. But she had the little synchronistic signs. She had that feeling of something being off occasionally with him. Occasionally his mask would slip, and eventually when I helped her and said, look at it from, pretend you're not in love with him, pretend that you are just observing him. As soon as she did that, as soon as she switched off her feelings from that, and how he made her feel attractive, how he made her feel wanted, how he made her feel special, once she switched off all of that, she could see the manipulation in him. She could see what he was actually really doing to her, and he did almost make her go bankrupt and rip her off for every penny. And he was actually a full-time con artist in prison at the time as well, and thankfully and I think she now helps other people. She helps the police now, I think, over in the US, to help other victims like that. But when somebody has got you emotionally in that position, it is very hard for you to see the flaws in them. But when you get that off feeling, that is your intuition and that is your clairvoyant abilities kicking in, saying something's wrong. And the best thing to do is try and switch off and go into observation mode and really look. That way you can see whether this is a bad person or this is a good person having a bad day. Okay. Whew. Hopefully this will help. I've already made a video on looking out for synchronicities and numbers, the ringing in your ears and things like that. When you're going through a bad time, you get clusters of synchronicities when you're having a good time, and when good things are going to happen, and you also have it when bad things are coming and you have a pending attack, psychic attack coming round for you. So watch my other video on that. But I hope this helps. When I went through this, I found it very profound, and it helped me to understand how to deal with my own internal feelings, and handle them in a more responsible, more balanced way. And that's what it's all about. As I say, there are so many people waking up at so many different levels, and some of you are miles ahead, and you've got over your fear, your doubt, your worry, and you're away with the fairies. You're up there, you're pretty much almost into fifth. And there's others that are just waking up today. They are seeing things in the news or on the internet that are scaring the living daylights out of them. And this is probably a video for you out there to take it one step at a time and start to discern things and see how things feel as you watch and learn things. If something doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't feel right to you, if it doesn't feel like it's your path, your spiritual path to go down, then you can, once you've put that through your heart, once you've looked at it, you can then put that to one side. You can let go of the fear of it and move forward, or if you are watching something that is probably likely to happen in the near future on a global basis in the world, and it is scary, it's something again that you will learn to look at objectively and integrate it within you until an acceptance comes up within you and you think, this is the way it is, this is what's going to happen, I can deal with this, I need to be in a balance, get yourself into a balanced place in order to help others to do exactly the same. So I hope this helps, and I will speak to you soon. Okay, bye.